Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Califlora and Califlora-Lite from Debbi Minero. Now, today being Thursday, the time of this recording, we had Califlora had its world premiere on our Tangle Time sessions, along with another tangle which I will be sharing tomorrow. All right, this is a fantastic tangle. Starts off with a little C-shaped curve line, a very tall, whatever way you want to think about it, C-shaped curve line. And you can do this initial stroke. I like that Deb kind of separates it, because it's something that I do as well. Um, so I can get my head around, well, how do I do that with the pen? Being, not an artist type person, I need some help sometimes. So it's the same shape, and you could just, stop like that, turn your tile or your paper, whatever you're working on, and just do that same shape. And, get it around 5 times, and if it doesn't end up to be 5, guess what? Doesn't matter. It's all good. All right. Then we're going to put what I've just started calling a loose aura, because, we have an aura, for those that are new to Zentangle, is basically an outline. But sometimes, like in this case, it's going to be kind of loose in at a greater distance, maybe away from what we're auraing. On the other hand, we'll do both of these. On the other hand, there's sometimes where it's, kind of tight, and we're really working to match the contours. So this is, I'm going to coin this, and we'll see if it goes. It's just, I was feeling like we need to have something that says what, the difference, because we say aura, and it seems like aura means the same things, or it's the same word, but kind of meaning a little bit different technique. And that's what it's like, just there. So just kind of dipping in where it dips, but, like I said, we're not exactly following the contour. All right, then, the same shape that we started with, just pick a place. We're going to do some more of those. And just separating them a little bit. It doesn't matter, where they go. Apparently, it doesn't matter how long they are. Oops. Just spreading them around like so. Okay, move this. I keep moving where it's comfortable for me, and then that's kind of heading off of the off of the screen. Then another loose aura. I wasn't feeling it when I was. Let me hold on a second. Something was just being uncomfortable, and I don't know what it is. Usually it's, well, I'm not going in the right direction or something. So if you ever feel that, we're just like, this just doesn't feel comfortable, just kind of take a minute and assess, what could it be? All right, loose aura. Then the next one will be more of a regular aura. So like I pick this distance, and I'm gonna work. It's never perfect, and not perfect is perfectly fine. And but like I said, this is more of a tight aura, a regular aura. And of course, you pick the distance you want to attempt to maintain around whatever you're auraing. And with all of these strokes that I've done so far, you can just have as much fun as you want playing with I could have done this one a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Playing with the sizes, and just everything. It's just a lot of fun. So this finishes Califlora-Lite, except that we can do some little bits of decorating in here. you know what, I'm going to put an orb in the center here. I'm going to kind of connect all of those dots. And in the description section, you will see, of course, links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then because we launched the Tangle, you will see the other link is introducing a new Tangle, and that goes to my website as well, because that's what I like to do when we announce new, when we publish a Tangle. That's what I like to do, and so in that you will see Deb's sample, her inspiration. Oh, I could have left a little sliver on the other side, and her step outs. All right, and then I think on these, just because I like to, we'll do a little line dot, because it can't really fit two dots. Can barely fit that. But in Deb's step out, she shows some great ideas on how you might want to decorate this. And it is just like everything else, completely up to you. All right. Now, for some shading. Let's see. All right. Ooh, that's a good one. Pencil. There. Ooh, so many ways. Let's do this, because we kind of have layers, right? So let's accentuate the layers. And let's see, I could start around the orb. Yep, let's do that. All right. Don't want to bring it out too far. And then, don't necessarily need to do every layer, and then it depends. It's like, well, what do I want? What direction do I want things to go? And because these really look like they're tucked underneath this, I was debating on it. It was like, because you could put it on either side of this line, and it's going to affect things differently. I highly encourage you to play with that concept, because it's so much fun. And hindsight, or next time I play with this, if I'm just stopping here and doing the Califlora-Lite, I can make it a lot bigger. And then something else for you to consider, it's something that I consider, is if there's a part of what I've done that I don't necessarily care for, that's where I sometimes will first look to see, can I put some shading in there? And I like that because it just pops this right out, but it also kind of, it curves it a little bit, in towards that center. So that's neat. We do need to do one more. We could do around the outside, and see, I don't want to have too much here, because I was thinking, oh, well, we could put some here, and that would make it curvy. Let's just try some around the outside. But one thing that, well, you know what? Let me do this first, because there's something else that I want to maybe do. Maybe. Well, and let's try something else. Something along the lines of what I'm thinking, but let's just do half and see what that looks like. It looks like I've done half of it. Sometimes, and it just depends on what it is. And really, it's one of those, if it was on a toned piece of paper and I could put white on the other side, then it really pops. But, I'm going to do it all anyway, so why not try and see what half looks like? That's how I learn. Oh yeah, that is neat. And I'm debating. You will know because you've seen the initial picture. I might darken in with the pen this orange section. I might. I don't know yet. Seeing as how I've gone into there a little bit with the pencil, I just might. But that can wait because you can figure that part out. All right, let's take a look at what we do after this. So we'll review this really quick. This one for sure I need to keep it about that size. All right, so first steps again, that nice little curved line, sort of. There we go. If you can do it in one stroke, feel free. Loose aura. I've done this off center, but oh well. Then more of these C-shaped curved lines. Let's see, one more in there. And then another loose aura. And then a regular aura. Tell you something else I love about Deb's tangles is that they're pretty worry free. You can just do and don't worry. Because in the end they always turn out amazing. All right. So this gets us to where we were here, right? Not doing any decorating yet. And of course decorating is optional. Okay, so this is light. You continue on, and we're going to do, it's really similar to this stroke, except we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And kind of like, I'm looking to do like two curved lines, so that way there's a little bit of a point. You can kind of put a little flare on the end, make it, like that, like a little bit of an S shape, kind of like an onion dome-ish type of look. However you want, whatever your hand wants to do is good. And of course we're just separating these a little bit. And as per usual, I start off one size and end up with another size. Let's see if I can get it back down. So funny. So it doesn't look so weird. There we go. Okay. All right. Then from here, same shape, but start. So we're gonna essentially like technically it'd be putting like a really large one behind these two, but we'll think of the hollow bow technique, and it's like, well, if I was drawing a really big one, but you come up here, and like I said, I like to start about halfway up is where I was going, what I was about to say. So it's kind of like that. And if you just think, about halfway up, it kind of takes care of the hollow bow concept. So you don't have to think, I'm going from here up. You see how it just takes care of it. Like that. And these can be a little bit bigger. Mine are, some aren't. It's okay. Sorry, I hope I'm not. I'm hitting the mic thing with my pen when I move it a certain way. There we go. All right. And then in this one, Deb does put a step kind of decoration, but it's so cute. And that is in all of these sections, these last two steps that we just did, kind of a nice teardrop shape. Or you could think of it as a kind of a flux shape. in all of those. But of course, it is technically decorating, so you can do it however you want. In our sessions today, we had some that did different things, alternating. So the first round, they put one decoration, and then in the second round, they did a different kind of decoration, and turned out so neat. So you can put your own spin on these things. Feel free to. All right. Then, and this, well, this part two could be somewhat optional. I didn't leave all the room in the world for it, but she has us doing an aura around this, and so some of mine is going off the page, as you can see. Very carefully. On one of mine from today, sometimes you just get, involved in doing, like, I was doing that step, and I was, enjoying it, and then went on to something else, and just like, oh yeah, that's right, I could have ordered that. Oh well, it's all good. And you see how it just, the aura, like, around the whole thing like that, just has such a nice finishing effect. There we go. Just so neat. And then here, of course, we can decorate how we wish. Just going to put some little lines in there. I know in one of hers, she did little balls, little orbs inside of those. I'm going to do that on this one since I didn't do it on the other one. I like to do something a little bit different. And some of these I don't really have room to put a line or anything. Yeah. I'm going to fill all of those in. I like to sometimes leave a little opening. I can come back with a white gel pen, but on this particular occasion, they were just looking, you know what? Take that back. They were looking kind of sloppy. Here's what I'm going to do, because it just struck me to do this. I'm going to decorate it by filling all of those in. I think that will look neat. So that is the fun. You get to decide what you want to do. And sometimes you get to change your mind. And it's all good. All right. And if you're filling them in, sometimes it's a good idea, because if you feel the need to course correct any of them because some of them went wonky, then that is a great opportunity. Like it. All right. And I'm gonna do something I saw everybody do on our call, and this was so neat looking. I'm putting a little sliver on the one side of these teardrops. And this too, you can kind of course correct a little bit. But it's just like a little sliver. Add some depth. And then we'll do a little bit of shading on this guy. All right. Yeah. All right. So we'll maybe do things a little bit different here. Let's put some graphite on these. The shading is always so much fun. It is so magical, and it never gets old. All right, and then these are kind of tucked, right? Well, I'm just going to do the one side at a time, and I might come around because they are also tucked under here, and I think I might come around there as well. And so while I do this, if you are enjoying this, and I certainly hope you are, please click the like button. That helps me out a lot. And feel free to like. Besides liking it, share it. If you like it enough to see more, and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all of those activities. Even leaving comments as well, as it helps the algorithm. Ooh, that's neat. Okay, now we'll do the other side. And by the way, the reason I'm just doing one side at a time is because I like to have the tip of the pencil and the tortillon on the line that I don't want to go over. You could also think of it as the line, wherever you want it darkest, whatever works for you. I like to think of it as what I don't want to go over. And if you just keep the tip there, it just makes it's less room for error. But yeah, so anyway, I appreciate any and all of those activities, as it helps, the whole algorithm thing. I mentioned the description section as I'm finishing this up here, and I'll just take a pause and look. That's always a good thing. Yeah, definitely need to do around here. Okay. Yeah, in the description section, I mentioned you will find links for the step outs. You will also find, and in a minute I'll show you some of my work, at least from today's sessions. But if you are interested in taking classes, sessions, here, let me just a quick peek. Ooh, neat. Ooh, neat. I'll show you those more in depth in a second. Because I'll raise the camera up so it's not so right there in your face. But if you're interested in doing something like that, this is what we do. We take a tangle or two. It just depends, and we play with it and have fun, and and then at the end, we those that want to and have the equipment, can open up their webcams and share. We take a screenshot, and then what I do is at some point I put them all on a blog post. So you'll see the screenshots, you'll see the actual pictures from everybody that I either swiped from Facebook or from our Facebook group, or that people sent me. So that way you can see nice close-up pictures. The screenshot's a screenshot. It's never, that great, but it's neat to see everybody's together like that. And we all want to see our results right then and there and not wait. So like I said, it's a lot of fun. So I hope you join us. The information is on my website. I also have ways to follow me for where I post classes, so you can see. But Thursday, Tangle time, unless there is a holiday or something that I can't avoid, which is rare. It's always on Thursday, and I do 2 sessions, and they're free. So I do a lot of free classes, and then I do have a few that are paid. I also have a membership club, so if you really, really like it, and that you'll at least you would at least be taking one or two classes a month anyway. Yeah, I do have it's kind of like an all access type of club. Oh yes, and yeah, so you can check that out. That's all on the website. Also linked to my Facebook page and our amazing Tangle Addicts community. If you want to hang out with some really cool tanglers, come and join us. It's a lot of fun. All right, so here, let's see. Well, this was from my first session. It's not quite finished. And somebody quite aptly said it looks like a page from a coloring book. I'm like, well, it does, doesn't it? So I have some work to do, but I think it still looks cool just like this. This is what I'll be sharing tomorrow. So this is the one I neglected to put the aura on the outside, but it still looks cool. It's nice. So this one I did on a prepped tile. What was there was I have some deep purple, almost black looking irises, like big bearded irises. And a while ago, it might have been last year. I don't know if it's been longer than a year. We did a tile prep class where we experimented with a number of things: alcohol inks, food coloring, drawing inks. I was trying to think if we had some other creative things, whatever we could get our hands on at the time that we wanted to play with. This is one of the petals from the iris, and I know I put something over it, and with a rolling pin, and just smashed it, and it comes up. You can barely see it now, but there's this really, really beautiful line. You can kind of see it because there's dark around it. That was the iris juice or something. Anyway, so we had a lot of fun with that. But that's what is underneath this, and this one I mixed, doing or using, I should say, the black ink and the white ink and some colored pencil and funness. But anyway, really, really nice tangle. So if you would like to, play around with tangles with us, come and join us. The more, the merrier. Oh, so much fun. And I just realized, it's like, well, I got to put some juiciness on there. Look at how that just does that. Oh. So cool. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I hope you will join us sometime to have this much fun with tangles. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to present until just before. So that makes it even more fun. And so with that, thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.